Hi, race fans. Welcome out to the podcast here on KCSI Live on the YouTube channel. And again, we're not on the radio tonight. Hawkeye game's going on right now. So I actually got it going on my phone right now. I got to turn the volume down. And Hawkeyes are playing really good right now. Not.
Yeah, I heard on the radio that the old coach isn't too happy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
The fans were booing after at halftime. So championship night, race fans here at the Speedway. It seems like it's gone so fast. We've added 2 extra nights, and we're already in the middle of September already, and it feels like we just started. So it's the way it seems like it always goes here this time of year. It goes faster and faster, and really lucky to have no weather issues these last few weeks.
Yeah, we were reminiscing, I guess. A bunch of us were over there and going over stuff and talking about next year like you do, but that's what we were saying. It's like, how many rainouts we had? I said, well, we had 3. First 3 weeks.
We haven't
had one since. It's like the craziest thing. That happened, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. We didn't have a rain out. It started just like that, where we never had a rain out the rest of the year. And when you ramble them off week after week like that, the only good thing about this year is we already had scheduled breaks, for what we did 4th of July. But that helps because as a staff and group, everybody working here, it really – it's not burnout, but man, it takes a toll on everybody when we don't take a break, and
it's a good thing we had those in-season off weeks, though. That's nice.
Yep.
And Dre's been working on the schedule for next year, and he's got he's got some of those sprinkled in throughout the year too. So it's good to have a week off every once in a while. But yeah, we've been rattling them off here week after week after week, and the car count has not slipped up really at all.
Nope.
It seems like when we miss a few new ones come in, and we've been ravaging right around 80.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
it's been pretty good.
So it's about 82 is where we're at, and that's good. I mean, that's we haven't dropped off, so that's a good thing. Because a lot of tracks struggle with that, and it's great. So
on a weekly basis, a lot of tracks struggle with, getting the consistent car count every week, especially on a night like Saturday night where there's plenty of other places to race
and other things to do.
Yeah, but last weekend was another good night of racing. We had a lot of crazy things happen. The B-Mod feature seemed like it was like the longest feature of my life. Me and Cole kept looking at each other and we're like, man, is this thing ever going to get over?
Well, and somebody was in charge. I don't know who it was, but it was frustrating. We were having communication problems, and Greg's up there helping, Greg Hampel, and he was like advising me about. I thought. Almost did too. I said, I'm ready to go old school. I'm going to go down the track, and we're going to red flag this thing. And I'm going to start pointing them by hand because people couldn't hear me, and then we had people like 7 and 8 cars out of position, and I'm like, what the heck's going on tonight? This is crazy. So, yeah. But we got her done.
And Cole, I'm glad you made it through the night.
Yeah, we were not feeling good, and
you looked rough.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was from my activities the night before, but
a little brown bottle flu.
No, I've been sick all week, so it even bled into today. Took some tests just to make sure it's nothing contagious, but I think it's just the weather change and
virus.
Man,
Do you have allergies? Because I tell you what, they're bad right now.
Well,
they're bad.
Oh man, they are piling them up at Watkins Glen. But no, I just all week I think just working around rubber and rubber dust at my job, and I work right next to a cornfield, and the wind's blowing through so it's just, oh man, I've been dying all week, and
yeah, Haley's been struggling a lot with allergies too.
I'm like half a bottle deep of Dayquil right now, so yeah, it should be. It's kind of cleared up. You're probably gonna be able to hear it in my voice tonight, but yeah, we've been fighting through it. So.
Yeah, a couple extra things going on tonight, too, at the Speedway. We're going to do driver intros on the front straightaway like we usually do during championship night. We're going to do the Gentlemen Start Your Engine deal we got more wrecking at Watkins Glen. Gentlemen Start Your Engine deal, Cole's going to do that, and then get the fans involved just a little bit. Unfortunately, we are not on the live stream tonight. We are not streaming on Dirt Crown TV. I thought we were supposed to be doing it, but a little miscommunication there, so... we will be live for the Pumpkin Dash, though. I do know that for 100%. So, unfortunately, we are not on TV tonight. So, anybody that is currently watching, if you're one of those people that, watches from home, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to watch tonight. unless somebody goes like Facebook Live or something.
Yeah.
Well, Lois Dairy does a lot of videos and stuff,
Yep.
but I do have a comment on here. Can't hear, no sound, but it looks like I'm pretty sure our volumes are good. So check it again here really quick for us. If you are watching, leave a comment for us. Make sure you can hear. I'm pretty sure we should be good on sound. The sound right at the beginning I had muted, but until we went live, we should be good on volume. So, yeah, let me know on that. Maybe we need to message Melanie or something back at the studio, or Lori or somebody, and
See if they're able to
pull it up and make sure they can hear us. But
Yeah.
we should be good. So, more wrecking at Watkins Glen.
No, they threw the caution, and Connor Zilich in his first ever Xfinity start just won. So pretty wild. That's a name you're going to be hearing for a while. That kid won the Daytona 24-hour at 17 years old.
Oh boy,
And,
that's cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
so it's
Awesome.
Sheldon Creed got second again. I think that's his 12th second place finish of his career. Never won a race, so rough.
Yeah, so feel free to leave us a comment on YouTube if you have any questions or anything like that for us, any comments you want to make. But we should be good volume-wise. Anything like that, I don't see any issues. I mean, it looks like our levels are good. So
Yeah, send us messages, questions, anytime.
yeah.
We love questions.
Absolutely.
So send us questions. So.
I'm
It's
just trying
championship
to,
night.
Yep, just trying to think
Talk
of
about
anything
that.
else from last week that's just pop off the top of my head.
Had a couple of bad wrecks in the
Yeah.
compacts. you
Yeah,
know,
we had that stuff, and then again with the social media stuff on Facebook, it just seems to continue to have an issue. So it's I don't know, people just aren't listening to, I guess, what we have to say and anything like that. I'm not going to really go into it, but yeah, just still a lot of negative stuff going on with that. But points battles real tight. They've been tight here the last week or so. Been really, really tight, and the way it is right now, and I do believe social media did post it correctly, that the way it is for the stock cars is in order for Brad Derry to win the championship, he has to either win the feature. So if he wins the feature, he will automatically win no matter what. But if he doesn't win, he has to finish 2 spots ahead of Chubbs.
Yeah, so if he finishes 1 spot ahead of him, they'll tie, but the tiebreaker, I believe the tiebreakers wins, correct? So
Yep.
yeah, it'll be you got to turn yourself back up.
back.
Yeah, you got to let me know when you take that mic off, because
Yeah.
it's just like.
So if they tie, it'll go to Jesse.
Yep.
So.
And then for the B mods, still really tight. Bryce Allen, obviously. Hunter has to finish how many spots ahead of Bryce?
Okay, so he's 8 behind, so he either has to win and Bryce will have to finish. I think it was 3 spots back, because if he wins, that'll be 4. If Bryce won second, would be 6, or he'd be 4 if Bryce finishes second. 4 behind. If Bryce finishes third, he'd be 2 behind.
Hey, touchdown Iowa.
Bryce would have to get 4th.
Flag down.
Right. So
Okay, so so what you're saying is if Poston wins, Bryce Allen's got to finish 4th or worse.
yeah. So
That's the only way Hunter can win. Or if Hunter doesn't win, what would be the gap there?
I think he'd have to beat him by 6 spots,
Which is
from-
pretty.
Yep.
Yeah.
So basically,
Which, how good those two have been running,
Right.
I don't know. He'd have to hope for Bryce to have some issues, and as good as Bryce's car's been, I just don't think you're going to see that. So
and basically what it comes down to is Poston's going to have to win pretty much.
Yeah.
And again, Bryce Allen, historical year. I know it said on Facebook that he only has 9 wins, because that's true for a weekly points deal. But that 10th win came last week, but because we were counting that tradition deal. So technically, throughout the season, with all the features that we've had, he did break the record last weekend for all-time wins in a B mod in 1 year. Bill Gibson's record was 9. And Bryce beat it last week with his 10th win of the year. And it's just crazy to me. I mean, we've had a lot of B-Mod guys race around here. And 10 wins in 1 season against this field of cars, that's just incredible. And what's crazy is it's still tight in points because of the DQ that Bryce had earlier in the season. If there wasn't a DQ, the points battle would be, it'd be over.
yeah.
So it's just crazy to me.
And then the compacts, we have a 18-point difference there. So John Berg pretty much just has to stay within, I think, 9 positions of Xander. Pretty much all that amounts to. Of course, a big thing in all these is car count. How many we have in the field.
Yep.
Wiggins is 36 points ahead. So first of all, we'd have to have, I think, 16 cars show up for him not to finish last, and then whoever's in second finish first. That's the only way it could change. But yeah, there's. And then Adam Hensel, all he has to do is
take the green flag,
and it's wrapped up really. But all he has
obviously
to do
he wants to end the season with a win. Obviously, he's going to be on the show here in a little bit. We'll talk to him about it.
And on top of that, I don't know if he's thinking about it, but I was looking up regional and national points today, and he is in Division 4, and he's tied for first in Division 4. So obviously, a win or a really good finish makes a huge difference for him. So. Yeah. Also, Division 3 and Division 5. Division 5 is our compacts. John Berg is leading that nationally also. And Division 3 is our BMOS, and Bryce Allen is leading that nationally. So it's really awesome. We have 3 guys leading national points in Advanced Auto Parts.
A lot of deserving names out there. Cool what NASCAR does for that, being able to extra incentive nationally. The other sanctioning body, I'm not going to mention it, but they don't really do stuff like that. They just kind of give you a little bit of money and a trophy and say, here you go. NASCAR, you get to go to, Charlotte now.
Yep.
It's back in Charlotte again this year.
Be back in Charlotte.
Back at the home of racing.
Yep.
That's one city I've got to get to.
You
haven't been to Charlotte yet, have you?
Nope. I'm going in about a month.
I've been there is the airport on a fly.
That's going to be cool.
Sorry. I'm sorry that you've been in that airport.
Yeah, it was a switchover. It was a quick switch.
Is it a rough one?
It was a quick switch.
All I've been told is you are going to hate Charlotte Douglas. So
we just switched over, so it wasn't.
So
a
it
big
probably
deal,
wasn't that bad, but yeah, as far as I've been told, it is it's a mess, and I guess they're doing construction on it right now, so it's even worse. And I don't know. I didn't think it could get much worse than Atlanta's airport, but Atlanta, it's probably not that bad.
I've been there. Atlanta's bad.
I'm just a small town kid, so any airport besides Kansas City that's really easy to find.
Or like Omaha or Des Moines.
Yeah. I thought Atlanta was the biggest airport.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is. It's the busiest airport in the United States.
Geez.
Even possibly the world. I'm not exactly sure how that goes. So
so a lot of implications tonight. It's also an extremely fun night. It's a nice deal because congratulating all the drivers. That's why we do the driver introduction. It's great to be able to do that. Go out on the front stretch and recognize everybody and have all you fans see those guys. Stand beside their car and have their helmet on. And some people don't recognize those guys.
Make sure you make noise for them.
See them. So
all that kind of stuff.
So looking forward to that. Always a good night to celebrate, and hopefully afterwards a lot of people stick around and celebrate. And we'll probably have. We always have probably 2 photo ops for each class tonight, very possibly just 1 if the leaders win. But so we do that. It's a good way of congratulating those guys. We want to get pictures for all that stuff for all the champions, and we'll get all that done tonight as well.
Yeah, so it'll be a cool night, that's for sure. Wish it was on TV, but unfortunate there. So, so it'll be a fun night for sure. And then we're going to have a couple-week break. We're going to Knoxville next weekend to watch Chubb's race. Over at the Knoxville Late Model Nationals. That's Friday night race, fans, by the way, if people want to know. The Dirt Crown portion of the Knoxville Nationals will be Friday night. First time ever that IMCA stock cars are racing there. And did you see the field? It is just like the most stacked stock car field I have ever seen in my life. It is just incredible. There is not one driver that's like, okay, he's somewhat mediocre. Every driver is like, dude, any one of those guys can win.
Yeah, I was wondering if they might give old Ricky Thornton the invite since he's going to be there already. But obviously he won that 100K, and that wasn't a qualifying race, and he was in a USRA car anyway. So, but that's going to be a fun race to watch, and I'm interested to see how they do. I don't know. It's
see if they can widen the track out.
They're very, very heavy cars, well, compared to what normally races there. So we'll see if they're able to get it up top. And
I wonder if they'll prep the track any differently or anything like that. Maybe not put as much water on it.
I mean, I think it's a late. They're going to prep it for late models, and I think a late model track, stock cars will race fine on.
Right.
So.
Well, and Chubb, to me, not so much an advantage, but he's used to racing on a half-mile track, so they'll give him a little.
Well, he talked about how he's raced Oski in the past, and Knoxville's a lot like Oskaloosa.
Yep.
It's flat, wide. things like that. So that's next weekend. And then I do want to announce tonight, race fans, because we have it set in stone. Kansas Speedway weekend coming up in 2 weeks. That's going to be September
27th through the 29th.
27th through the 29th, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to have another little mini booth there, kind of like we did at Iowa Speedway. Not going to be as big because there's only going to be a couple cars going.
No,
but
it'll be as big of it'll be a bigger area.
Well,
'cause it's gonna
yes,
be with the
we'll be in a better
NASCAR
area,
it'll be the
but
NASCAR
there won't be
experience
as many
area.
cars there.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we're going to have 2 cars going. Drivers that have elected to go is Lance Swartz in the stock cars, and then Hunter Poston in the B mods are
Yep.
going to go.
Yep.
So
And it'll be a big area because it's going to be the NASCAR experience.
And
So-
we're
so it's
planning
gonna
on
be a
having
cool
the
deal.
cars down there hopefully Friday afternoon, and then they'll be there all weekend until Sunday. If you plan on going to Kansas Speedway for that race, please feel free to come say hi to us. We're going to make hero cards for all the drivers and everything like that to hand out, and
We'll
it'll
have
be
other stuff.
it'll
Got a
be
lot
a
of
cool
stuff to
deal.
hand out.
Cole's going to be down there all weekend. Cole's going to be doing his normal
I'll
thing,
be
trying
down
to
there.
get
I'll be down
40,000 autographs. So Dre's got like a bunch of
No, yeah.
his drawings. He's going to try to get signed and everything.
I ain't gonna be chasing too much, but no, I'm excited to get down there. That's I'm telling you right now, guys. If you've never been to Kansas Speedway and you watch NASCAR, you need to get down there. I mean, it's like what I talked about last week when we got Kansas when we started discussing it. That last race that they had there, I've been watching NASCAR since I was born. That was the best race I've ever seen in my life.
Closest finish ever.
Asphalt or dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. You had. I think they said there was like 40 passes for the lead
Yep.
in that race, and then it topped it off with the closest finish in history. I mean, that's
Kansas never used to be that way.
Oh no, it
No.
was. It used to be one of the worst. Tracks
It used
on
to
the
be
schedule.
it used to be you go and you take a nap and you
Honestly
wake up
did.
and they're still on a green flag run.
Honestly, did I was sometimes
Yeah.
not off. It's
You know, I was talking about that with a friend this week, and I'm like, a lot of people hate on the stages, but man, we wouldn't have got racing like that if there wasn't stages, because now these guys, 30 laps into a race, they're like, well, I can't really ride here
Yep.
because there's points on the table. So,
Yep.
it's obviously a different time, but now's the time to go down there. So,
Yeah,
I'd even argue this is one of the best seasons of NASCAR I've ever seen. Like,
right.
it's-
With the next gen car, it's perfect for these racetracks and the mile and a halves. And everybody say hi to Evan Davis is back. By
yeah,
the way,
he's-
everybody say no.
Oh,
you're
you're
good.
fine. You're fine.
good.
Yeah, come right here in a minute.
You're good.
He's representing Worth County Tigers too. By the way.
So, but yeah, so 2 weeks, Kansas Speedway. We're going to be down there. We're going to have a little booth set up. Adams County is going to be down there representing in the NASCAR experience area, which will be really cool. There'll be a lot more people down there being able to say hi to everybody, and we'll get a lot more publicity. Cole we might have to get Cole to do something funny. I don't know. Maybe if you get a little bit too much to drink or something, maybe we'll have you, I don't know, take your shirt off or something.
I don't know. I don't know if we want to do that. But I typically don't drink too much while I'm down there because they don't let you drink and then go into the garage area. So I got to be a little careful with that. But yeah, no, it should be a good time. I like I say, come on down. I don't even think tickets are really all that much to
No,
go to that
they're
race,
not.
and
they're
you're gonna-
and they usually never sell out at Kansas. So
yeah, which is unfortunate, but it's like what I've told people. For whatever reason, they keep scheduling the Kansas races over planting season and harvest season.
Right.
I'm like, you guys are in the heartland of America, and you're scheduled. But I understand it's just kind of the perfect time for a race.
it is.
there,
It
but-
is cool though that Kansas Speedway does get a race in the playoffs. That's nice.
Well, that was a deal they worked out when they built that casino. They said if we build this casino, we are guaranteed 2 races and 1 in the playoffs.
Speaking of the casino, I might have to go hit that up one night.
oh brother, you'll see all sorts of drivers. I
heard it's nice.
The first year,
Is it nice?
oh, it's really nice. It was 2022. The Xfinity race rained out. Noah Gregson won it, and I was playing blackjack, and a guy walked up, sat right next to me, and I'm like, that's Noah Gregson. So I was just sitting there playing blackjack with him. Unfortunately, all the normal people.
Did he roll out like $100 bills?
Yeah. All the normal salary tables were full.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I had to go to the $25
Oh,
limit.
boy.
You got to go to the high limit room.
Yeah. Well, no. They,
Well, yeah, just the floor. On the weekend,
Yeah.
it's $25 minimum.
Oh man.
See, the $15 and the $10 minimum tables are always packed because
Yeah.
those are the normal people tables.
It's a good thing my luck was pretty good that night because $25 a hand, that really adds
Yeah.
up whenever
Yeah.
you only go in with $200.
Kinda,
That's 8 hands of losing right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
kinda pucker up a little bit.
Yeah,
on
luckily
those,
I did pretty good. I walked out even
That's
But-
good.
good.
But
That's
we,
good.
we were there for 4 hours. So,
That's
I mean,
good.
if you
Dang
can be there
right.
for 4 hours on a $25 table and
Absolutely.
come out even,
Absolutely.
not bad.
All right, well, we're going to go to a quick ad break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk to our first driver of the night, and then we're going to be right back with you here on Pitside Live on the YouTube channel. So we're going to take a quick ad break, and we'll be right back with you.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah. Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs, from oil change, brakes, alignment, air conditioning, to any body shop and repair needs. Stop by Best Finish Auto Sales and Service at 209 Sharp Street in Glenwood for all of your vehicle needs.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels, giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
All right, welcome back, race fans, to the Pitside Live on the YouTube channel on our podcast. Big thanks to all of our sponsors. A couple sponsors there that did their ads there. Subway, Best Finish Auto Center, Camlin Mechanical, Fresco Systems. Thanks to all those guys for sponsoring us. Of course, KCSI for letting us do this. Hopefully the Hawkeyes will play a little bit better here. But all right, let's go ahead and do some results from last Saturday night. Cole, I'll let you go results first, and then we'll talk about points.
Well, I got to find them first.
Gotta
Hold
find
on.
them first?
Give me a second.
So first part of the show is going to be our RJ Plumbing and Heating B Modifieds. Pretty consistent field of cars this year. There's a group of guys out there that younger guys, older guys, a lot of talent, a lot of guys that it seems like this class is split up into two sections. There's a section of just really good guys, and there's a section of newer guys, and there's just not a lot in between. It's just either you're good or you're new. There's just not a lot of in between. So go ahead with your results.
So your top 10, finishing 10th, was Adam Baker out of Bakersfield, California. It was good to have those guys down here. By the way, after the races, I don't know if you saw their golf cart. They have like a Baja Buggy golf cart.
Well,
That is Boone National.
Oh, yeah,
written
well,
all over it.
I talked to them after the races, and they had a heck of a time. They were like, man, this place is just huge.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't know when to turn.
Yeah.
So
In 9th was Josh Sink. He was running the Poston backup car, so good to have him back down here. 8th was Matt Andrews, also another guy great to have back down here. Brian Baker out of Bakersfield finished 7th. He was up 12 spots, so a good run for him. David Orr finished in the 6th spot. Rounding out your top 5 was Hunter Poston in 5th. Tate Loftus out of Bakersfield. He was up 17 spots to finish 4th. Willie Kirk, good to have him back down as well out of Sloan, Iowa. He went up 7 spots to finish 3rd. Sean Krolick out of Creston went up 4 spots to finish 2nd. And your winner out of Stanton was Bryce Allen. Took over the points lead, went up 8 spots to win.
and broke the record
Yep.
for most wins in a year by a B mod. But we're going to talk to a guy that we really haven't talked to much this year. We wanted to get you on the show because this is your best year ever.
Yeah,
really.
I mean, statistically, this
Yeah.
is the best year we've ever
Absolutely, and it's something where. By the way, this is Evan Davis. If you don't know, he's from right here in Corning. You've came a long ways, man. I remember when you first started, you kind of raced that. It was like a Leaf Spring. Don't even know what it was.
Yeah,
it was just like it was like an eco mod.
I called it a hobby stock without fenders because that's basically how the rear suspension was set up.
And you went to a Victory, got that really figured out, and now you're in this Skyrocket this year. It took you a little bit to figure it out, but you're really consistent now.
No, the biggest thing, there was a couple of suspension things that had just been updated from the Victory was a 2014, the Skyrocket's a 2019. So
yeah,
once we kind of ironed it out where we needed to be, it's a really good car. It's really fun to drive.
Bad luck last week, obviously. You know how it goes. It's racing sometimes. It's sucky that you couldn't do King of the Hill. I'm sure Kirk McKay probably said thanks. He got a free buy out of that deal.
Yeah, and I was looking forward to a free buy from Sync, and then I seen he was racing Hunter's car. I was like, oh, we're going to have to actually work at it. And then, yeah, we got caught up in that deal, but that's racing.
That's right.
They can't all be good nights.
I know.
Yeah, I tell you what, like your season, obviously last year you had 2 wins, but you just kind of been flying right under the radar, really consistent. I mean, you've had 10 top 5s in 16 races. Possibly could have had one last week, but like we said, things happen. But, I mean, how's that been? I know you've been so close to that win this year, but you got to be happy with that many top 10s or top 5s in a year.
To come in so we bought the Skyrocket this year. It was an A mod, and we converted it back to a B mod. And just trying to get everything figured out. We did that all ourselves at our shop, put the rear end under it, did all the suspension work, and we got a little help from Skyrocket on a base setup to kind of start off with and mix that with some of the stuff we'd taken off our Victory. And no, it's just really nice to come out of the gate and be as consistent as we have been. And we've missed out until this past weekend. We've missed out on we haven't had a terrible night yet. We haven't had a 21st or 22nd or a DNF because so far, even the places we've traveled to, we haven't finished outside the top 10 anywhere we've gone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just noticed that you have 15 top 10s out of 16 events, so last week. But, I mean, still, that's pretty impressive. If you can do that in this field, I mean.
You know how it is with this class, and if you get buried, sometimes things can happen, kind of like last week, but it's amazing how you've kind of gone through the season without any issues, really.
Yeah, we had
huge issues.
Yeah, we had the night I forgot to put the radiator cap back on. We were running
that was self-inflicted.
and had to pull in. Yeah, that was had that and one other night we
were
had
you
to
steaming up like a top then or what?
Yeah, it actually didn't even know it was happening until we went to a caution and the car settled. The car being tipped over, it kept the water in it, and then when it settled, it plumed out the top.
You were probably like, what is going on?
Yeah, I just knew I was pulling tear-offs like crazy and pulled in, and Paul and Franklin were grabbing water bottles out of the cooler to dump back. Dad sprayed the whole Silver Bullet into the radiator thinking it was hot, so then we didn't have any water to pour into the radiator.
No, I was talking about it earlier. I'm looking at these drivers, we have a group of guys here now that are just so good, and how Bryce has been all year long. I mean, it's so hard to beat a guy like that when that car, is that good. And you're not on, brand new stuff. You're on, kind of a hand-me-down stuff, but you're updating it. I think it speaks to you as a driver. It's like it just shows. In my opinion, it shows some of the talent you have around here. Because I mean, you're not racing brand new high-dollar stuff.
No.
And it's impressive to me. I mean, you got like guys like Hunter who got a brand new motor this year. Are you still running an open or are you running a crate?
I've done both. So the first 3 nights, my motor wasn't ready yet, or we had it back but didn't have the time to put it in. So the first 3 nights I ran a crate, and then I switched to an open motor after that.
Gotcha.
We went and we had the RPM change. We had to go have the cam switched over. So.
Gotcha.
I remember how happy you were to put that back in.
Yeah.
He's like, I feel so lame running this crate.
Feel back at home now. I got my big boy back in.
It was funny at the start of the year, you haven't ran a car all winter, and you sit there and looked at it, and you hit the button on the crate, and it's like, oh, that sounds pretty good.
Put
and
big boy pants back on.
You drop the big motor back in, it's like, oh, no, that's what it's supposed
to sound like.
Yeah, that's not Grandpa's pickup motor anymore.
Yeah.
No, I'd be the same way. I mean, especially in a B-mod class. I mean, in my mind, if I'm a guy from Corning, I'm going to race, I'm going to race a big motor. I don't know, it's just me. I mean, I can feather I feel like I'd be able to feather the throttle a little bit more. It's a little bit more throttle control, obviously.
Yeah,
but in a B mod, it's really not that much different.
No, there's a few pros and cons, like 4-barrel to 2-barrel difference, but really once you adapt to it, you don't even notice it. I know talking with Hunter, we both noticed the restarts without the 4-barrel. You got to get your momentum up a little bit better earlier.
I think of guys that race in the sport mod division and in the IMCA world that race like smaller tracks typically that are, really, really good drivers. I think of guys like Colby Fett, for example. Colby's always raced an open motor no matter where he goes, and I feel like I feel like there's two types of B mod drivers. There's an open motor style driver and there's a crate motor style driver. And I feel like it's just how you were built up, and I feel like you're the type of guy like I'm just an open motor guy.
Yeah, we started on the open motors, and we struggled with them early on just because we were building them ourselves and didn't have the best stuff in them. So we switched to the crate in 2018 just to find consistency from our parts. So when you can focus on the car because you're not focusing on working on a motor all the time, that brought our situation ahead so far, just being able to focus on just setup and, change your valves every 8 nights, do the oil changes, and you're fine. And then it got to the point where we got third in points in 2022 behind 2 guys running open motors. And it's like, well, we've been really close to wins. We've had all these top 5s, but there's these 2 guys I can't even come close to. And so that was the final pushing point last year for us to switch to the open motor.
That's a good point you made, too. It's like with the open motor racing, just because you put an open motor in doesn't mean you're going to be good. You got to be able to drive it right, and you also have to have the right parts in it, too.
Yeah.
You got to have, it's more expensive.
Yeah.
To an extent, because, with a crate, there's not a lot you can do to it. You can also rebuild opens, but at the same time, like Hunter has a brand new mid-state, those are high-dollar machines. Hunter's not running something that's, like a hand-me-down, just built, on your own. And what kind of open are you running?
We're a
mid-state. Same thing, right? It's not some, home-built motor that's out of a shop. It's a name brand, high-dollar piece of equipment. And unfortunately, that's just what you have to do is you have to spend the money.
I'll say there are certain guys in the world that can just build one at their shop at home and it'll run just as good as anybody else.
Kudos to those guys.
I know that there's guys out there that can do that. I wasn't one of those guys that was that good at machine. We were just lacking the tools.
You got to have a really good knowledge for that stuff.
No, so the switch to crate made sense for us at the time, and then going back, John builds a really good piece at Mid-State.
He's very well known.
You're getting everything that you're paying for from him, and so we've had this motor. This will be the second full season we've had on it, which we didn't have it freshened. We did the cam changeover, and other than that, this thing's it's going on 35 nights now, and it's never had a problem. So
that's a good amount of nights for an open.
Yeah. No, the RPM turned down too, I think, did a lot for him as far as reliability. Those things were built when he was building them. They were built with no chip limit when they first started out with the B mod class, and then it became 72, and they were built for 72, and now you're twisting them 66. You can run them all day long at that.
Gotcha.
Now I think that speaks volumes about John and Mid-State. At least what I've noticed, a lot of my friends, they run Mid-State products, and if anything does go wrong, he seems very hands-on.
Yep.
He wants to know exactly what went wrong, or if you have issues in tech, he wants to know exactly what it was. And I think that speaks volumes. But it's I think it's very rare that you see a Mid-State have issues. But obviously, it's an open motor. Eventually, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's just very cool. I wish we could get him back down here, but
I know.
He seems really busy.
Yeah, I think he told me when I went and got my motor that it's just he's too busy with building them to even think about running a racing operation. So,
yeah, I can't imagine how much money he has just sitting in his shop right now.
Yeah, I know. It's like you walk in there to pick something up, and there's just 10 or 12 motors laying there, and it's wild. But no, they're a good group of guys and do really good work.
Yeah, so really good year for you. Unfortunately, you didn't get the wins that you wanted, but a really consistent year. Before we get you off of here, it sounds like you're going to Bloomfield in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Or next weekend.
Bloomfield next weekend. We're debating on going to Memphis, Missouri.
Okay.
I can't think of the name of that track.
It's Scotland County, right?
Scotland County,
yep.
yes.
That is what weekend?
The
Is that
28th.
that's the Kansas Speedway weekend? Gotcha.
So
Okay.
we're thinking of doing
That's
that.
the race that Bennett Johnson won last year.
Yep.
Well, I wonder how far that is from Kansas. Maybe if
It's clear the
it's
opposite
east.
side of the state.
All right,
Yeah.
never mind. I was gonna
It's a
say.
ways.
I was gonna.
It's over by Kirksville.
Yeah, I was
it's
saying
way
if
over
the,
there.
if the Xfinity race gets done in a decent time, maybe I'll head over there.
It's
but,
over like Burlington area, Ottumwa. It's like straight south of
Oh,
there.
okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I know we were thinking if the weather's nice and we feel like driving 3 hours, we'll go do it. But it's got to be perfect conditions.
You like the bigger tracks, and it sounds like, Scotland County's a big track. Bloomfield's a pretty decent sized
Yep.
track too, so kind of fits in your driving style. I just didn't know. And then, are you planning on racing Pumpkin Dash on the Friday night deal?
We're going to be here for Pumpkin Dash
Okay.
on Friday night. So
Yep.
that'll be our capper for the end of the year.
Like I said, B-Mods are only going to be racing Friday night for Pumpkin Dash. Saturday will be hobbies and modifieds and late models. We're doing that not only on our standpoint, but Joe recommended it just from a track standpoint. We don't want to burn the racetrack up. Late models are racing for a lot of money that night. I mean, it's $6,000 to win, $700 to start. So, biggest late model purse we've ever had here.
Yeah.
We've never paid that much. We never paid that much for back when like Bloomquist raced here. So, the biggest late model race ever on that weekend. So,
Yeah, no, that'll be fun to watch.
what if you could hot lap a late model? What would you do?
Oh, I'd take the chance. If someone just handed it to me, I
Hopped
would,
in?
for sure. Oh yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome? So next year, plans for next year, are you going to stay the same thing? Are you just going to keep going? Have you really thought about that yet?
We haven't thought too much on it. I know we're thinking of getting out and traveling a little more. So, my wedding's next September, so we've got some stuff to plan for that. I don't know what that's going to bring as far as scheduling.
Gotcha.
So we're just kind of keeping an open mind. We'll be down here a lot of the time, but I know we are going to try.
You want to try to hit
jump
some
around.
different stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
we went to Eldon Raceway last year.
I feel like
non-sanctioned
I feel like
place.
your talent level's getting to that point where you can compete now. And
Yeah. No, we went to Eldon last year and we had a really good heat race, but we got the motor, got it warm, the radiator started swelling up, and so I really feel like I didn't get a fair shot at that place, so I want to
Gotcha.
go back and try it. So we'll probably go race there some, and I know Bloomfield running a limited schedule. We want to hit that place a couple of times. So it's really up to just what we're feeling. We haven't set anything in stone yet, so.
All right. Well, who do you want to thank really quick before we get you off here?
Just got to thank my sponsors. We've got Shepherd's Folds Doodles. If you see my little cockapoo running around, that's where she came from.
There you go.
That's my fiance's grandparents' dog company. We've got Poston Farms, 6S Trucking, Damewood Auto and Sales, Hapes Design and Graphics, Midwest Exterior and Remodel, Robinson Construction, Michael's Foods and Lennox. I'm trying to make sure I get everybody here. Let me look.
Oh,
at
you're good.
I gotta pull up a picture real fast because I gotta make sure I get everyone in it. Dessert First Treat Shop. That's my mom's baking company. Diamond M Welding in Villisca. Talon's a huge help. Shout out to him. He's getting married.
Yeah, he's getting
tonight.
married
Getting
tonight.
married on a race night.
I saw that. I was like, oh boy.
Allison Show Pigs, longtime sponsor on our car. Fenn Trucking, longtime sponsor. Your old favorite, Southwest Bat Removal. Vern Southwick.
Southwest Iowa bat removal.
Hey man,
The chicken of the cave.
Pick a business that no one wants to do. That's what he told
That's
me.
awesome. I got a buddy in Clarinda who does extermination, Rescom, and same thing, man. He plays with bats all day long. It's disgusting.
But no, and then the Johnson family, Lund Farms, and obviously my parents, my fiance's parents, my fiance Madeline. She supports all of this and lets me go do this crazy thing.
Soon to be a racer wife.
Soon to be a race wife. She's
Oh,
a race
boy.
fiance right now. Yeah, I think she enjoys it.
She's going to the dark side.
And then her two boys help me. They're my crew, or her two brothers. I shouldn't say boys. We call them the boys, but
Yep.
her two younger brothers help out a ton. So that's everyone that, and my grandparents. That's everyone that gets us up and around.
All right, Evan. Well, good to have you on the show.
Yeah,
and,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's we wish you luck the rest of the season with whatever you got, and good off season. And I'm sure you'll be ready to go when it warms back up again. So, Cole, you got anything else for him?
One more chance to go get that win.
Yeah,
You never
we're gonna
know,
go
so.
after it. No, we got her all banged out and
Yep.
got back together. So
Well, you got a normal trophy to run for tonight, but Pumpkin Dash. We got the trophies made. They're pretty sweet. So they got the LED trophy back up there.
Do you still get to smash a pumpkin?
Yeah, you sure do.
All right, well, I'm going to be gunning for that thing. I want to spike a pumpkin.
You should have seen them last night. He was sending us videos with a torch, just wham, wham.
Yeah, we had
there you go. That's how you do her.
We called it Bill's Precision Body and Frame, and it was just me with 2 blow torches, a porta power, and my dad beating on it with a sledgehammer.
There you go.
We got it straight, though, so it's here and ready to go.
All right, race fans, well, we're going to take another ad break. That's the driver of the 78 car in the B-Mod division, Evan Davis. He's from here in Corning. We're going to be right back with you after this ad break.
Let us help insulate your home with Heartland Foam.
No matter what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank, here to help as you plan for the next chapter of your life. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal.
Furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more. S&S Appliance, your hometown furniture store in Clarinda, just received a large shipment of appliances. They have a huge selection of stoves, refrigerators, chest freezers, and microwaves. And if you need a mattress set, they have them, plus bamboo sheet sets. They offer full service from start to finish with competitive price guarantee. S&S Appliance also offers delivery and installation. Stop by S&S Appliance on the square in downtown Clarinda.
All right, race fans, welcome back to the podcast here on Pitside Live. Big thanks to Heartland Foam Insulators, Malvern Bank, Jay Burdick, and S&S Appliance for sponsoring our podcast, and KCSI for letting us do this during the Hawkeye game live on YouTube. We're going to switch gears here. I got 2 strangers to the show, not normal guys. I got a stock car guy to my right, and I got a hobby stock guy to my left. Soon to be our track championship in our hobby stocks, Adam Hensel in the 7H, and Rick Barton, first time to the show. I'll start with you, Rick. What's up?
Nothing. How are you?
It's I messaged Rick and I was like, you want to be on the show? He's like, why? I suck. But it's good to get you on here and talk a little bit. You're one of our, local guys, and you've improved a lot this year, I feel. I mean, you haven't really stuck that much.
No, we've come a long way from last year in the beginning of the season.
You both are kind of the same. You're both just kind of just had the middle of the road seasons, nothing too flashy. Just kind of keeping your stuff straight. But car looks really good this year, and you've improved a lot. You went from a B-Mod to a stock car. How was that change? Go back to that.
The B-Mod deal, it was fun. Just seemed like I tore a lot of stuff up, wasn't very consistent. I didn't even want to be in a stock car because I was one of those guys that no matter what was going on, I wanted to watch the stock car guys race because it's always fun.
They're fun to watch, yeah.
Then one night we were at a special, and I decided, I want a stock car. And we went from there. Last year we had a little bit of a rough go. Didn't get our motor like we planned, so we went a whole season with a lesser than normal motor, plus a learning curve. And this year, I think we have everything together. We've had a lot of help. I've had a lot of help from a lot of good guys, and it sure made my program a lot better.
Right. And Adam, you went the other direction. You were racing a stock car there for quite a while. You had ponies on the car.
Yeah.
And now you're down to a hobby stock, and the transition for you is easy, I feel like.
Well, yeah, but I've started out in a hobby stock.
Right, exactly. So you've raced that before. So, but Rick, you again, you started off in a B mod. You were kind of just one of those guys. It's just like, I want to try this out, right, and see how you do. And I feel like now that you got a group down there that you hang out with all the time, and you've been helping Anthony Davis out a lot this year too, and he's getting really good. And is the plan to stick with what you're doing, or do you want to change something up, or you just want to keep going, man?
We're going to keep going. We got rid of all the B-Mod stuff last year. Everything I have is for a stock car, and I think we're just going to keep going this way until I decide I'm too fat and too old to keep doing this.
And you've been traveling a little bit, which is awesome. I've seen you race some different races. I see you're going to Tiny Lund as well, so that'd be cool. But do you like going to other tracks and racing other tracks like that and things like that?
I do. I could at least go somewhere else and throw something at the car, that we kind of thought about or was pitched to me. So at least we can go there and try it and say, hey, this works, even though they're totally different tracks, at least get a feel for the car. So that helps. And
right.
The more seat time,
right.
That's priceless.
Right, exactly. And you've gotten to a point now where I feel like I can visually see that you're a lot more comfortable in the car, and you're willing to take a little bit more risks, and you're not driving as passive anymore as you did at first, right? You didn't take a lot of risks, and I feel like you and Lance Swartz are kind of the same way, where it's like you two race against each other a lot, and I feel like Lance is one of my good friends, and you guys, I mean, your car looks the same pretty much as what it did. You don't ever touch anybody, it seems like.
No. And that's what's nice about the stock car class. I mean, no matter where you go, and especially here, we got a class act, bunch of guys. If we get into each other, it's
weird.
It is.
We
weird.
had that one on the front stretch there, what was that, a month ago or two, and everybody's making a big deal out of it. It's like, that's the first time we've actually had a wreck in the stock cars, and the hobbies are the same way. It's kind of weird when somebody like piles up, because it never happens, it seems like. And knock on wood, obviously.
Yeah, knock on wood. I don't know. I tore a lot of stuff up this year, but thankfully most of it wasn't here.
Right. But a lot of it is, you guys race in the two, I don't want to be biased here, but these are my two favorite classes. I'm very biased towards stock cars because I grew up watching them. The same way with you, I love watching them. Our hobby stocks down here are, I've said it all year long, it's worth the price of admission. You probably watch some of our hobby features. They're just fantastic. It's just like Talladega out there.
Oh, yeah.
But
it's more grassroots.
Right, exactly. And I feel like there's not a lot you can do to them either. I feel like everybody's pretty even. Am I right?
Yeah, it's everybody's progressed and kind of caught up to each other, and everybody's pretty equal.
Right. And I feel like, guys like Cody Warner, for example, who changed back to a hobby stock, he's right up there with you guys now. He's really figured it out, driving a lot harder. And same thing with you, Rick. You're starting to figure it out now, and you're starting to compete way more. And, you've got a couple heat race wins under your belt now. And what would it mean to you, man, just to win a feature one time?
Well,
would you just have a party down there or what?
Well, I'm sure my boys would, and my boys and my crew, which who's mainly my crew. But yeah, it would be entertaining.
Just to win one, not only, how good our stock car guys are. We don't have a lot of them, but there's so much talent. You got guys. Obviously Chubbs has so much talent, but Brad Derry, Scuba, Jason rolled all those guys. It's hard to beat them.
Oh, it is. You could catch up to them, but yeah, good luck getting around them.
and you probably noticed that if you're off by a little bit or you miss your mark one time, and you're the same way in a hobby stock, here at the Speedway, man, if you don't get that momentum down the back straightaway, you're gonna lose 2, 3, 4 car lengths easy. And it's so hard to make that back up without a caution.
You have to be perfect in these classes. Perfect. You mess up just a little bit, bobble the wheel, turn the steering wheel a little bit more than you're supposed to. These guys are going to make you pay for it.
Oh, yeah. And Adam, the same way. You've kind of made your living the last 2 years on getting guys messing up off of a corner. I feel like with your exits, that's where you get so many guys. You are so good at exits. It's always exit 2, it seems like. You are so good at setting the car up and just getting it straight, and that's where you get a lot of your guys, I feel like.
That's what I've learned from racing with these guys for so many years is they're used to racing really close, and you drop down a class with guys that maybe don't have as much experience, and you crowd them, and most of the time they'll back off. But
right.
They don't do that for me anymore. They've learned my trick.
Well, that and you're the car to beat, it seems like, and it doesn't seem like it's been like that this year because you haven't had the wins. But look at the points. You've basically, you take the green flag and you've got it won, and and you've never points raced before, and isn't that crazy? I mean, this year hasn't been a great year for you, but it's still another championship, and you kind of made it look easy.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about it at all. But we definitely didn't have the results we were planning on. But
I don't know if you know this, but he's our national point leader too. Do you know that?
I've been ignoring it.
I hate to tell you that,
it's over.
But you are the national point leader right now too, which is crazy. So, but again, just keep it clean. Just keep consistent. I'm actually not even rooting for the track championship because I know you're going to get that. I'm actually hoping you finish good to be our national championship to represent and to get to go to Charlotte. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was just hoping I could get a couple more wins this year and kind of
help
seal
with
the
that.
deal, but
help with that, right?
It is what it is.
Exactly. So, but Rick, so race this week. You're going to race Tiny Lund next week. Is there any other things you're going to do the rest of the year?
I think we may go to Beatrice for their deal if it's not snowing.
That's
or too
that.
cold.
Is it Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
That's the after Pumpkin Dash.
Yep.
Are you going to race Pumpkin Dash?
That's the plan.
Try to smash a pumpkin.
As long as that's all I smash.
You'll be racing Friday night. You guys will be racing Saturday night. But, yeah, so I like it when our local guys travel. Adam, it seems like you get bad luck when you travel. I don't know what it is. But
this year's been terrible. Last year was really good. This year's been terrible.
So you get outside your comfort zone, and it just I feel like a lot of it is, too, and you'll probably say the same thing. It's like, when you race against guys you don't normally race against, you don't know what their tendencies are. You don't know where they usually mess up, and they don't know you. And it's like, I feel like they don't have the respect for you, I guess. I don't know. What's your thought on that when you go to other racetracks?
With a lot of these hobby stock guys, at least the older ones, I've known a lot of them and been racing with them for years. So you kind of know the ones that are going to get rough with you and the ones that aren't. And, these big shows that you get out to that got 50, 60, 70 hobby stocks, it's everybody's driving for everything they got.
Right.
Just accidents happen.
Mm-hmm. Using your door up, and for stock cars, you're racing, in my opinion, the toughest class there is. I
believe so.
Yeah, IMCA modifieds are supposed to be the best class, but in my opinion, you look at Super Nationals and you look at racetracks around the area, the most talent is in the stock cars, in my opinion. You get a lot of those modified guys dropping down to stock car. Look, Kelly just won the Super National. Stock cars is just loaded, man. It doesn't matter what track you go to, and you've probably known this. It's like you probably feel like you're getting better, but you're still just like, man, what do I got to do?
Seat time.
Right. Just try to get
better. Seat time and
better.
Spend the money, I guess.
Right. Spend the money, right?
That's why I quit.
Well, it's a huge difference. What is the difference going? But you've seen it. What are the main differences financially from a stock car to a hobby besides just tires?
Tires. The drivetrain is a huge part of
right.
it. But
we're not running quick changes at IMCA, but at the same time, it's just a lot more maintenance too. Obviously,
yeah,
it's a lot more. You're spending a lot of time on tires. How much time do you spend on tires?
Depends. We'll at least spend one evening alone just on tires, if not two.
And see, in a hobby stock, what can you do to them?
Nothing.
You slap them on your race.
Flip them
if you need to. If there's a chunk out of it, throw that one away and move on to the next one.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
So
I don't miss Hoosiers at all.
I do miss the pony car though.
It was fun.
So, but your nickname now that I'm glad that I feel responsible for that because I created that nickname, just the Blazing Banana, because it's just a car that you pulled up with that one year. I'm like, dude, what is this? This thing is just like, this is like the butt ugliest yellow, and then it turned out to be awesome, and now it's just like, it's great because when I see you on TV at other racetracks, I know exactly who it is right away. Nobody else has a car like you.
Yeah, there's not really very many yellow cars out there anymore.
No. And at first I hated it, and then it just grew on me. I'm like, you know what? This is kind of cool. And now you have a logo made about it. It's super cool. And then, like Braxton Wallace commented on Facebook this week with 3 bananas.
Yeah, it got taken way farther than I wanted it to.
but it was kind of cool. It's a cool nickname for you, I feel like. It's something that, drivers, some things just stick and some things don't. I call you Riverton Rick now. That's your nickname. Old Riverton Rick. So, but you know how it is. It kind of, makes you popular, too. I feel like there's people in the stands that I've talked to kids, too. It's like, oh, that's that banana car, and that's that banana guy or whatever. So, I think it'd be cool, to get somebody down there with a banana costume or something, and you can sign it or whatever. That'd be funny.
won't be me.
So, well, Adam, I don't want to jinx you, but all you got to do is take the green flag, and you got it pretty much done. I mean, there's no really dramatic things going on with you with that. Last year was a lot more stressful when it came to points racing. This year, it really hadn't been stressful, has it?
No.
Isn't that crazy how sometimes it's like that? But you've been, to me, the guy that's just been you've just been there. You just haven't gotten your nose dirty. You haven't really taken a bunch of chances.
We've had a lot of stupid little mechanical problems that we don't normally have all year, and that's been our biggest struggle. I mean, the car just hasn't been what it's supposed to be.
Do you feel like that's what's taken away the wins?
I would like to think so, but
gotcha.
You don't know.
And you did say it like 5 minutes ago that there are guys in the hobby stock class now that are racing you maybe a little bit differently and are just getting better too, right?
Yeah, and a lot of them, they've got, from last year to this year, there's a big handful of them that they're significantly faster. I mean,
right.
they've done their homework. So
right, and again, you're the same way. You're trying to beat that one guy, and you're that guy in the hobby stocks. You're trying to beat Chubbs. You're trying to beat Brad. You're trying to beat Tony. You're trying to beat Scuba. What do I got to do to just beat those guys? And I feel like that's the same way. So, but I tell you congratulations, man. It's been a great year for you. Rick, you've had a great year. Oh, before I let you go, tradition. That was a weekend, wasn't it?
It was a little rough.
You were on your top over there. Tell me about that. How did you get that thing back ready to go? I saw Catman down there with the welder because Cole wanted me to ask you about that. And how did that weekend go, man?
It went way better than I thought it was, and thank goodness for him. He's a stellar welder.
Oh, yeah. That's why we have him down here, because he's a really good welder.
We were busy getting everything else changed and put back together and bent back right out, and he just got underneath the car and done his thing, and we got it race ready and ready to go. And my kid's like, you sure you want to do this? I'm like, why else are we here?
Why not?
I'm good. The car's good. I said, if it's not good, we'll figure it out in 1 and 2.
You got that. I mean, what was the time frame? I'm trying to think. You guys ran your first heat races, what was it, right at the beginning, and then there was like a 2-hour break, roughly, between your second heat race. That's crazy. You guys got all that done in like 2 hours.
We had a lot of good help. We had the Divas crew there. We had Weeda helping us.
Well, Weeda's a good welder, too.
Yeah.
It's just that he's a little bit older, so he's not as agile, probably.
But, we had some of Garner's, guys there that were helping. And I know I'm forgetting a bunch of others, but, Woodard's come over and helped out. We actually had to turn away help. I mean, that's how
nice.
awesome the guys are.
Awesome.
And we got her all put back together. And we went home Saturday morning and unloaded the car, and I thought, all right, I'm going to have to cut the brackets out and redo them. And I'm laying underneath there looking, going, I don't have to touch anything. That's
awesome. Awesome. And that's why we love Catman down here, because he does a really good job with welding and things like that. But that just speaks to, Adam, you're probably the same way. You got your group of people that are willing to come help you. There's a group of guys right there with you as well, and people are always willing to come help and things like that. And I feel like that's what's good about our track is you notice that after the races, too, everybody's around drinking. We've got our groups, right? We've got our people that, stick around. It's always about the people you park beside, and those people become lifelong friends, and then all that kind of stuff just falls into place. And I don't know what I would do on Saturday nights if I didn't have this place or racing. What would you guys do? You'd probably have a lot more money.
Without a doubt.
I would just spend it on something else.
Yeah, something else probably more stupid, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything more retarded than a race car?
I mean, you're just lighting money on fire. But before we get you guys off here, Adam, I'll let you go first. Thanks some people that, get you to the track and have been with you all this year and getting this second points championship in a row. So
I have a giant list, and I'm not going to go through it all. No, my whole crew that's with me every weekend, they're here, they're helping. My wife, she's with me. Her and the kid go everywhere the car goes. I mean, without her, I probably wouldn't really be doing it anymore still. Yep. And, we got a very large list of sponsors that have stuck with us and help us, and it makes it way easier.
I feel like that's a lot of people. Like Bryce Allen was talking to us a couple weeks ago. I wouldn't be racing if it wasn't for my family.
Yeah.
My family's the one that keeps wanting me to do this. I'm getting to a point where it's like, I've done it all. I've won a lot. It's just like, man, it's just so much work, but they're the ones that keep you going.
Yeah, I would probably just sell my whole operation, but my kid would be really mad for a while.
Exactly, and upset because, hey, Dad's awesome. He races. You know, that's what keeps you going. So, Rick, same thing. Who do you want to thank?
Well, I'll start off with my sponsors. We'll start off with RCB Truck Repair and the guys at the shop. They're the ones that help me get going and stay going and take care of things while I'm gone. Terry Hallman at Holloman Auto Parts in Hamburg. Blaine Peterson Auto. Matt Witchman with Monster Graphics. He's the one who gives us a sharp-looking car every year. Then we have Riverside Inn, Pat and Michelle Moore in Riverton. They keep my crew guys stocked in refreshments, so that's handy to have a bar sponsor, by the way.
Absolutely.
I got
nothing alcoholic.
Yeah,
that's awesome to have a bar sponsor. That'd be great.
It is. I don't know if she'll do it next year or not, but it's kind of cost her a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay.
But you know,
maybe win one and she'll be like, "Hey, that was awesome."
There you go. But I can't thank the guys in the pits. You know, my neighbors in the pit area are, you know, number one. I got, you know, Weedas, Myers, Davis's, you know, Mike Garner's crew. You know, plus the guys in my class. You know, Brad Derry's, you know, give me some advice. Hardesty, you know, is giving me some advice. I got to give Mike Albertson Wahoo, you know, a big shout out, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be this fast. He's helped out.
What chassis are you running?
This car that we brought tonight is a GRT.
Okay, gotcha. And you're still running the old home-built, whatever it is.
The old piece of crap.
And it's fast.
Yeah, it's getting a job done.
It's fast. All right, race fans, so the 7H car and the 62 car, hobby stock champion, up-and-coming stock car driver, even though he's got a lot of white, got a white color in his beard. But you're going to see him tonight, race fans. You're going to see him around the area probably the rest of the year at different tracks. We'll see how that goes, and you'll see him at the Pumpkin Dash as well. So we're going to take another ad break, and I thank you guys for coming on, man.
Thank you.
Yep,
all right, guys, we'll be right back here on Pitside Live.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda. We want to be your GM dealer. We have highly qualified and trained technicians ready to work on your vehicle. Anything from recalls to warranty work and beyond, we are your GM dealer. Our service department is open 6 days a week for all your service needs. We even have an express lane for those no-appointment quick oil changes. Visit our website at shoremotor.com to request an appointment, or give Mike or Amanda a call at 712-542-6581. We are your GM dealer. Shore Motor Company, just south of the square in beautiful Clarinda.
Just as your local State Farm agent teams combine good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. This is your local State Farm agent, Dave Carbaugh, and we promise to deliver the service you deserve at the price you want. My State Farm team will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call us today at 712-623-5639 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah.
Hi, race fans. Welcome back to Pitside Live on the podcast here after this quick ad break. Sounds like our audio was good there for the Rick Martin interview, so that's good. Got about 10 minutes left on the show. Let's go through some final results here from all the classes that we missed. Let's start with our hobby stocks.
I got to get back to it.
And then we'll go through some points. We'll kind of just wrap everything up here with some results here and kind of figure it out. So, hobby stocks from last week. Go ahead.
So your top 10 was in 10th, Tommy Luft, just from right down the street. Tyler Gray finished up 9th. Derek Myers went up 5 spots to finish 8th. Buddy Heitzig started 7th, finished 7th. Tom Myers finished 6th. Cody Warner went up 5 spots to finish 5th. Adam Hensel also went up 5 spots to finish 4th. Matt Mack, the winner, went up 1 spot after starting 2nd. Anthony Davis gets his 2nd win on the year, 2nd career win too, with that win there. So
absolutely. So top 10 in your hobby stock point standings with 1 night to go. 10th place is the 40X of Dave Weeda. 9th is the 95 of Jared Lund. 8th is the 5 of Derek Myers. 7th is the 5D of Anthony Davis. He is a rookie, and he's 7th in points with 2 wins. Impressive.
Yeah.
6th place is the 7 car of Tom Myers. Moving into your top 5, the 10G of Dustin Grout out of Prescott. 4th is the 22 of Jim Toll out of Reading. 3rd is the 12G of Tyler Gray out of Clarinda. 2nd is the 21 of Cody Warner. He's 86 points back of your soon-to-be track champion for the 2nd year in a row, the 7H of Adam Hensel, the Blazing Banana. All he really has to do is take the green flag. And I was talking to him on the show there just a little bit ago, and it really hasn't been a good year for him. He feels like well,
compared to last year, no, yeah.
From a win standpoint, he doesn't have a lot. 2 wins.
2 wins.
But it just shows how tough he is because he's so consistent.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good at keeping his nose clean, staying out of trouble, not taking chances, finishing, consistent finishes. It's just incredible to me how good of a points racer he is, because he's never really done this points racing stuff until last year, and it just goes to show how good of a points racer that he actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, another tough thing in the points is going to be determining who the most improved driver is. We were talking about it earlier, but I don't know if Anthony Davis,
he's a rookie.
because he's going to be a rookie of the year. So
you got Dustin Grout.
I think it's going to have to go off whoever finishes higher in points between Tyler Gray and Dustin Grout.
Even Cody Warner.
Yeah. He's had probably one of the best years he's had in the hobby stock. So it's I feel bad for whoever's going to have that conversation, because we've had a lot of drivers, even obviously he's had some up and down nights, but Kenton Walston's another one of those guys. I think as he races more, he's going to get his feet underneath of him.
Yep.
And you're going to see him put in more consistent nights. But his speed at the end of this year has been phenomenal for no longer than he's been racing. So.
Awesome. So, all right, let's move on to your stock cars. Results last week from our stock car class. Another good race in your stock cars. Brad and Jesse are going back and forth. Yeah. So, but Kinzer ran one heck of a race, man.
Yeah. Well, in 10th was Nick Martison out of Dunlop. 9th was Connor Owens out of College Springs. Had some struggles, but he's another one of those guys. Hasn't been racing.
I need to yell at Kinzer. He's over there. Let's just get him on the show really quick before we get off. Seriously.
Yeah, we could. Hey,
come over here.
Come here.
Come talk for a second.
8th was Marvin Hendrickson out of Corning, Iowa.
Who's that guy?
Second career top 10 for old Marvin Hendrickson.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. Kyle Britton out of Hopkins, Missouri, went up 4 spots to get 7th. Rick Barton, just had him on the show, finished 6th. Steve Churchill, 5th. Tony Hardesty went up 4 spots to finish 4th. Jesse Dennis up 3 to finish 3rd. Brad Deary up 3 to finish 2nd. And your winner that just joined us on the show, all up 3 spots. That's John Kinzer out of Corning.
Best race of his career, let's say. Hey, I wanted to get you on really quick. Why are you sweating?
It is hot out.
It's
and
a little warm.
I am a thick man in a thick man's body, and it is too hot for me. Last weekend was perfect, and it decided to be a lot warmer tonight.
What medal were you yesterday in the parade?
I think I was bronze.
Were you a bronze medalist?
I was not gold, which is fair.
Brother, somebody in that parade, I got off work at 2:30, and so I didn't get to make the parade. But I got out and I was standing on my porch and I could hear somebody downtown. I figured it was Hunter with that open motor. It might have been John, but somebody was revving their car up.
Who was that?
Were you revving your car?
I did a couple times, but I don't know who else it was. I mean, I couldn't hear anything over my own car because my headers point straight down. So I was hoping that I wish I would have lowered the idle down a little bit because my ears were ringing after that.
Yeah.
You could just drive by and see all the kids getting their ears held by their parents because they didn't realize we were coming.
Yeah, who all went?
I know it was Poston, Kinzer, Dennis, Cooper, Tommy Luft,
Hunter.
Did Evan Davis go?
Nope.
No.
Hayden Johnston was there.
Hayden, Tate, Hafner.
Yep.
It was pretty much everybody that lives in Corning.
So we had a few open motors in there.
Yeah.
We really wrung
It was
the
pretty
ears
much
of it.
everybody that lives in town. The only guy that doesn't live in town, I think, that was there was Hunter.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's from Villisca, so.
Right.
I know. I got a message from Mike Archer. He's like, well, where are the races at? I just saw Hunter's hauler going down the road. I'm like, parade. He's like, oh, okay. So,
really quick before we get you off here because you need to go do your thing, but I just want to talk to you really quick about that race last week. Best race that you've ever raced by far that I've watched from a talent standpoint of hitting your marks. And, I mean, you probably watched the video. Brad was on your ASS the whole race, and you did not flinch once.
Yeah, I won't be ashamed to say I probably watched that video 100 times this week.
He has.
It was crazy. I mean, I kept looking at him. I'm like, dude, John's going to mess up one of these times, and you didn't.
I mean, I go back and watch about every feature a bunch of times to see where I did good and where I need to work on. But after the heat race, we changed a bunch of stuff, so I really didn't know what we were going to look at. And, the changes were good. We could have made it a little bit better, but I didn't want to go too aggressive because I didn't know what we were really getting into. But, yeah, I mean, I just knew if I could – I seen Brad sticking his nose in there, and I just knew if I could hold my line and not mess up that we'd probably have a good chance at it. And I'm kind of happy the yellow came out because I think we only got faster after that because I was kind of
You were saying the same thing. You think it was a heat cycle on a tire?
No,
or no?
I was riding the brakes going in that first half, and they started getting pretty hot and going to the floor. So I ended up just throwing it in wide open. And the first time I've ever done it here, the car stuck, and, I was able to get off middle exit really well, so I was really happy. Like normal, it seems like 1 and 2 is perfect for me. I don't know why, it's just good. 3 and 4 is always a struggle for me, and there's a couple times where I got kind of high and Brad would gain a little bit there, but luckily I didn't do anything too stupid to really give it away there.
Yeah,
did you feel him?
I can kind of see the yellow on his car.
He didn't really hit you, though.
No,
I mean,
no, he never touched me once, and that first half I could see him there, and after that restart I knew he was there because I could hear him. And I could kind of see the yellow on the back of my visor there, so I knew he was there, and I just knew I had to hold my line and hit my marks, and we'd have been good there. So,
you got anything for him before we get
yeah,
off
I
here?
mean, something I've noticed, it seems like every win you get turns out to be a thriller.
It's just like the closest.
Your first win, a last lap pass. Second win, you and Jason rolled just right on each other, and then basically the same thing with you and Brad. And I mean, it's just I guess you need to win more often because it just provides good shows. I don't know what it is, but
as much as the competitiveness in you, you'd always want to just check out. You'd probably feel good just being dominant, but it's not fun. It's more fun.
It's more rewarding when you earn it.
It's more rewarding when you got guys of that talent there. That you're able to beat and just be able to get race clean like that.
And knowing like you did. Hitting your marks 15 straight times. Yeah, you said in 3 and 4 you went high a little bit, but visually you couldn't really tell. I mean, probably in the car you probably didn't want to go that high, but he still couldn't get around you.
Yep, it was. I had to let off and kind of let the car quit sliding in that mud because if I had just stayed in it, I'd have went clear off the track. So, racing for 8 years, that's something I've learned, and I still make.
Does your arms tighten up or does it?
Nope. I've worked.
I feel like I would just be like, oh my god.
The first time my nerves, were pretty sky high, but the more comfortable.
Your interview last week, I could tell he's like, okay, he's done this before.
That's
first time you didn't cry.
I didn't cry. I told myself we're not crying this time, and then I'm
gonna be a big man this time.
I'm gonna be a big boy and put my big boy pants on, but you just work once you get past that first one, you know, it just progressively gets easier.
It's a
to
huge
keep your
weight
cool.
off your shoulders.
And once you're comfortable with the car, you know what it's going to do. It makes it a lot easier to make it through there. So,
yeah, John. Well, you've improved a lot this year, and I feel like your equipment has done a really good job of staying intact, and your motor's been good. Knock on wood. I don't want anything to happen, but
no hoods flying off.
Yep, hood pins have been good.
Except for the first part of the year.
The roof.
Are you still getting help from Luke?
Yep, Luke and Craig at G-Force, they're...
Luke Lemons, by the way, if you don't know who that is.
They are both really great at helping me. They've been a great part of our success, I would say, with this car. And, we haven't decided if we want to keep this or, get on with the new chassis that they just came out with and get something new, or stick with something that's proven and still fast.
Don't fix something that ain't broke.
Right. And
it's expensive.
But I would have to say that this is probably the most consistent year I've had so far. And, missing 2 nights and a DQ really, we'd probably be right up there with Brad and Chubbs, I would think.
You're beating Nick Woodard, though. That's good.
Yeah, fighting for points, But
I think you've got the Woodard deal wrapped up.
The good news is we are back in 6th place. So, the battle for first doesn't even matter tonight. So...
It's the battle for 6th place.
There you go. Hey, you don't have to sell hot dogs in the stand at the Pumpkin Dash. So.
Thank God. We'll just let Nick deal with that. He's got a good face that could sell a lot of hot dogs.
We got the trophies made for that, and we're going to wait to buy the pumpkins, obviously. We'll buy them that week, but that'd be cool if you could smash a pumpkin.
Yeah, I think after tonight we're probably done.
Okay.
So unless that changes, we'll see.
It might.
But
you might have to break the dust off of it and race one more time.
I might stare at it and wonder I should get this out, but just for one night, it's going to be a lot of work to get it ready the way that we've done our maintenance. So I just don't see a benefit
come down
to
and
us,
watch.
So we might just come down and watch.
He might be down here selling hot dogs after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll help Nick sell hot dogs.
We'll get you to sell 50-50.
I could do that.
We'll get a vest on for you.
I might need a helmet too, but
you'll be sore. Get all the steps in.
Yep. I need a good workout. So
you got to be careful though. Some of these bleachers are sketchy.
But yeah, I could probably help him sell some hot dogs. So,
all right, really quick before we get you off here, thank a few people, and then we'll get you out of here. So,
well, I got blindsided, so
I know it's okay.
As
you
always,
should be good enough now to know them off the top of your head.
Yeah, I am not. I got to thank Mid-State Machine, Dad and Mom. Without them, none of this would be possible. Midwest Spray Teams, Donahue Family, King Stump Grinding, Uncle Bruce Cross, Grandpa Jim and Grandma Kay, Allison Kinzer with Sensi, Get Some Garage, Jared Lund has helped out too, Chance Teeple and Tana Damewood, Helby Farms, Gilbert's Electrical, Cha Cha Real Smooth Media, Western Iowa Racing Results. We appreciate.
They're right there.
Yep, they're here tonight.
Make sure you get a T-shirt, race fans.
We appreciate everything that they've done for the racing community and all the shows they put on. It's great that they post all the results for all the local tracks around here. And then, as always, G-Force Race Cars and Chassis. I'm only as good as the car and the tech support. So without them, I don't even.
Luke seems like a pretty good dude.
Yeah, without them, I think I'd just be lost at sea. And they've been helping me with this ride height rule and everything, and we've got the car to where we really like it right now. So
good. All right, John. Well, we'll get you out of here. Sorry to blindside you.
You're all right.
I was just like, it's over here. He won last, so you might as well talk.
That's all right. I don't mind it at all. So,
well, make sure you let people know you can go back and watch us as many times as you want.
All right.
So, all right, race fans. Driver of the 6th car, John Kinzer, he's going to go for 2 in a row tonight. But Cole, let's finish this up. We have got, one night left, and it's crazy how fast it's gone, and it's great. We've had a really successful year, and it's been good car counts and everything like that. And I'm very happy with what we've had, and I feel like you probably feel the same way. And
yeah, no, I mean absolutely. It's I'm excited for these points battles. I've been coming down to this place since I can remember, and it's not very often you get this many classes that are this close in the points. And I tell you what, too, the racing has just been these last couple of years. A lot of our racers have taken the next step, and it is just I don't know what it is, but these guys are working hard and they are putting on a show. We have seen a lot of good racing these last few years, and just excited for another night of it. And hopefully my voice will last. I'm still
you do seem like you're feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, I do feel a little bit better. My voice is still a little rough. Probably going to have to drink a lot of water tonight, but that really never hurts to drink a lot of water. So, but no, I'm excited for it. obviously last points night, and it's going to feel weird. I don't know what to do with my Saturdays next weekend. I guess I'm going to have to watch Iowa football, try to throw the ball down.
Well,
the
we're
field.
going to be busy for the next few weekends.
Yeah. I guess that's
next,
like what
I mean, next weekend's Knoxville. The next week after that's Kansas. The next week after that's Pumpkin Dash. So we're not really done until like what? November's probably the
honestly, not even really that. It's like what I've told your dad. Like I don't even really get an off season from racing anymore, which I'm not complaining about that. But it's like what you said. Go to Knoxville next week. I'm gonna head over to Bloomfield to watch Hunter and Evan race, and then from there Kansas, and then we have the Pumpkin Dash, and then I'm going to Martinsville, and then I got Gateway down in St. Louis, then the Chili Bowl, and then I don't know, maybe a month and a half, 2 months off, and then all the Frostbusters up north start kicking off. So it's I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. So
yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I watch stuff a lot. I don't go to as many places as you do, but I watch a lot of racing, throughout the area, and I'm kind of the same way. So, but I'm definitely looking forward to the remainder of the season. It does suck that it's winding down, but there's still a lot of great racing, it seems like, at this time of the year, not just here, but at other racetracks.
Well, it will be nice to go, like I said, this point in the season's typically when I go check out other tracks, get to go see some other classes race, or not other classes, but other racers.
And you don't have to worry about working. You just can watch.
Yeah, you just sit down and enjoy the races and
have a few beverages and
maybe more than a few, but that's how it goes sometimes.
All right, race fans, we're going to get off of here, and we thank and appreciate you for joining us. You can watch this as many times as you want back on the YouTube channel, and huge thanks to all of our sponsors again for supporting us and doing all that, and huge thanks to, again, Subway, Best Finish Auto Center, Campbell Mechanical, Fresco Systems, Heartland Foam Insulators, Malvern Bank, S&S Appliance, Shore Motor Company, and State Farm. So we don't know for sure if we are going to be on the radio in 2 weeks on Saturday on October 5th because we don't know when the Iowa game is going to be. But if we are not on the radio, we'll be back on YouTube again. But if we are, we'll be on the radio live again. So we don't know for sure what we're going to be doing yet for that. So we'll just have to wait and see. But again, race fans, we do not race after this night for 2 weeks, and then we come back in October. So if you want to watch racing for the last time on a weekly show, you better come down here because it's going to be a great night. We are not on TV, so the only way to watch it is to come right here to the Speedway. So thanks to everybody for watching. For This is Cole, I'm Evan, and we'll see you next time here on Pitside Live.